greatest responsibility is to serve our
Treasure Valley communities.
The El Paso Las Cruces community.
Hey everybody, welcome to Let's Get Learned. Thank you for joining me today. The book I'm going to review today is going to be Sergei Sputnikoff's American Diaries. Right? So, Sergei has a YouTube channel called The Ushanka Show. I've been watching him for quite a while. If you don't know what it's about, life in like Soviet Russia, right? Because he grew up in Soviet Ukraine actually, but he was raised in USSR. So that's what the show is about. So it's kind of explaining what life was like in the Soviet Union, compare and contrast type stuff of what the culture was like. He shares some very funny anecdotes. Sergei has a very dry sense of humor, what is not just in his YouTube channel, but it's also in his book, which I like because I like dry humor. So Sergei wrote this book called American Diaries, and it's essentially his, what made him his first excursion to America after the fall of the Soviet Union in 1994. He got contracted by a company called CCUSA that went to Kiev and wanted to recruit people to work in summer camps in the United States. Sergei says when he went to the building where they were kind of explaining it, and he was like, oh, we need employees. He thought it was a scam because I guess scams are very popular in Russia. I watched some other Russian YouTube channels, and I guess scams are still very popular today. So he thought it was a scam, but he took this leap of faith and gave him, I think he had to give him a $200 down payment, what was multiple months of wages to kind of do this thing. So after he gave him a $200 down payment, he had to do an interview. And in his interview, he gave him a resume, but he also wrote down that he has a hobby of doing photos. My English teacher told me if you have a hobby, write it down on a resume. Sergei kind of, he says that's a fact. If you do have a hobby, you should write it down on your resume because that's what got him the job. He knew how to speak English. He's been practicing, but what landed him the job was not just his kind of English skills he knew some, but not all of it. But what got him is that he knew how to make photos. So he got hired by the company to develop photos at the summer camp, right? So he's all excited that he gets to go to the United States. He's never been, but he's more excited that, he gets to make all this money. He gets to make $300 a week, essentially, at the summer camp. So he kind of talks about his life at the summer camp. He likes to compare and contrast Soviet way of life and also American way of life in this book. He switches back and forth periodically. He'll talk about some things he used to do in the Soviet Union. Like, I guess he used to smuggle alcohol to Poland, and that's how he would make some extra money. In the United States, what he did to make some extra money is he would work out on a farm on the weekends. When all the campers would go home, he would collect his check, and then he would go work at a farm and just save money and work constantly because he wanted to make as much money as he can. He got hired at a orchard picking apples, and he would go with the owner, pick apples, and help him go sell apples and work the stands. And he would make $5 an hour doing that, which it was great. Sergei really enjoyed it. He would work 12-hour days nonstop. He just wanted to rake in as much money as he can. He would rarely try to spend any of it. He shares some stories of him going to local bars, but he kind of thought drinking was bad because it's a really easy way to just spend all of your money. He shared that he went to I think it was Best Buy, and he wanted to buy a radio, but he wanted the owner to plug it in, because I guess in the Soviet Union, if you bought any electronics, you wanted the store owner to plug it in to make sure it worked before you bought it. So he was so he asked the store owner, like, hey, take it out of the box and plug it into the wall just to make sure it works. And they did it, but because there's not really a whole lot of faith in their system. So it's just fun compare and contrast. I do really recommend this book if you kind of want to understand someone looking in at the American life from the outside, and also kind of share his, get more deeper into his story. I think that'll be really great. He also talks about him dealing with Americans, and especially inner city kids from Chicago. He didn't know what to do, but he eventually got used to it. He also worked with some international people from other parts of the world, like worked with this other person from Russia, who they got together and they actually went around local schools and talked to the local schools in the area about what Russia was like and what the life was in the Soviet Union and such. He never got paid for that. It was kind of a bummer, but he got to provide that service to the community. He really liked the United States, and he actually eventually ended up coming back to the United States. He currently, if you watch his YouTube channel, he works, I believe, in a nuclear power plant. No, it might not be a nuclear power plant. I think it might just be a power plant somewhere in Michigan. He works as an engineer there because he does have a engineering degree he got in the USSR. So I do recommend this book. It's a very fun story, and I suggest you go check out the Ushanka Show. It's a really great channel. All right, thank you for the book review. Stay awesome. Ciao.